So the director of national intelligence at the United States, Tulsi Gabbard, has resigned again. What is happening with the Trump's administration? What is happening? The director of national intelligence at the United States, Tulsi Gabbard, has resigned, and there are several claims that he resigned because her husband has been diagnosed of cancer, which is a fat lie. That is not true because this is not the first official resigning in the Trump's administration. Most of his top officials have recently resigned when this war between the United States, Israel, and Iran started. Most of them have resigned. And when your officials are resigning in a critical moment like this, it means something is wrong, means something is not going right. Think of the generals, the recent director at the counter terrorism center in the United States who just resigned. In fact, about 5 or 6 top officials in the Trump's administration have recently resigned, including the one he has personally sacked during this war. So things are not going well for Donald Trump. I'm telling you, things are not going well because for your officials, military officials, to be resigning in the space of few months means something is wrong. It means things are not going well with Donald Trump. And one of the reasons is because this war with Iran is not going well with Donald Trump. Things are not going well. And when things are not going well, you start pointing fingers everywhere, looking for solution everywhere. So the director of national intelligence has recently tabled her resignation, claiming that it's because her husband has been diagnosed of bone cancer. And we all know that is not true. That is not the reason why she's resigning. This lady came out few months ago when this war started and said on a live TV that the United States and Israel had no reason to attack Iran. They said the United States had no reason to attack Iran because Iran was not a threat to the United States or to the region. So this lady came out on a live TV and said all the claims that Donald Trump is claiming that Iran was a threat to the United States was a lie. He said Iran was not in any way a threat to the United States. So there was no reason for Donald Trump to go to war with Iran. This is what this director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, said a few months ago when this war started. And during the course of the war, Congress asked her, can you repeat what you said a few months ago? She said she cannot repeat it again because the president has made his decision. So she could not repeat the same statement again. And this is the same thing that the director at the counter terrorism center also said a few months ago when he resigned. They claimed that Donald Trump had no reason to go to war with Iran because Iran did not pose any imminent threat to the United States. So Congress has continued to pressure this lady, and I'm sure she was left with no choice than to resign because each time she appears before Congress, you know, they will begin to put pressure on her. Can you tell us what you advised Donald Trump to do to Iran? Can you tell us what was your advice to Donald Trump? Can you tell us if Iran really pose an imminent threat to the United States? So I believe, in fact, this is the reason why this lady is resigning. So much pressure from Congress and from Donald Trump because he could not continue facing Congress. Because each time she appears before Congress, if you have watched this lady, appeared before Congress, you will understand what I'm talking about. So things are not going well for Donald Trump. Most of his top officials are resigning every day. That is just to tell you what Iran has done to him. So the regime change that Donald Trump claimed, he claimed he wanted to do a regime change in Iran, but I think the regime change is taking place in his administration. Yeah, because think of those top generals. How many of his top officials have resigned during the course of this war with Iran? That is just to summarize the whole thing for you. That the things are not going well with Donald Trump. Things are not going as planned. In fact, I'm not supposed to tell you this again because you all know what is happening. And Donald Trump is desperate for results. He's desperate for results. And a lot of things are going to unfold during the coming weeks and during the coming months because Donald Trump is desperate for results. So, what do you know? For now, this is what I know. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And remember to like, comment, and share this video. And look out for my next update. God bless you.